We live?
Yep.
We're live.
I'm good.
Okay. Get my claps in? Claps in.
Promise down the clip.
Why you fight me over that? Why were you fighting me over that? Did I upset you?
Nah, I just wasn't ready for it.
No. Start you intro the show, Guillermo. Shit, I don't even want to talk no more.
What's going on, everybody? We got Eric here in the booth. We got Hero in the booth. And we got Guillermo in the booth. That's me.
Yeah.
No, you ain't done. Keep going. Well, alright. I guess I have to do this part. I'm not a good host. Why do y'all let me do this?
Because it's funny. It's really entertaining. And Guillermo was going to talk more. He just tried to make it as uncomfortable for you as
I
possible.
know. He just doesn't want to give me a smooth transition. But all this gonna stay in because I'm editing this shit, so you know I don't care.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post. We gonna fix this in post. But for what it's worth, hey, y'all been getting a lot of motherfuckers been getting a lot of love from us, alright? Y'all been getting this good content. And I'm not about to sit here and let y'all disrespect my boy Guillermo. So y'all gotta go check out his podcast, Circuit of Life, on Anchor, on iTunes, on podcast, every goddamn thing. Go check his shit out because he's been posting it. Because we threatened him in 3 different episodes at this point. So I know it's out there. Don't make me come find you. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
But Eric, where are we?
Everywhere, bro. Except for Gab, Mines, and Bishop. But we will be soon.
And we working on that. But for the meantime, like, we in the booth. And this is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
Because we got to go eat.
Yeah, we do.
Amen.
See, we see.
The Peanut Gallery is giving us amen.
We were getting harassed by the crowd, so we gotta make our way out, and we gonna make our way out in, I guess, the most standard form. We're gonna be talking about some things that I feel, especially, I always like to collectively think about my people in the sense of what they are paying attention to, but almost to the extent of, in this, especially in this specific context, what the pulse is of the general population. We have a very diverse group of people here in the sense of what our knowledge is acting on the impeachment trial for President Trump that's going on, the impeachment inquiry, excuse me.
Yeah.
And what we know, how we feel, and what we think should be the tempo of this world. So let's kind of gauge on that. We'll start small and we'll kind of let it blossom out. But that's what we're going to be talking about today here in the booth. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all get into it. If you made it this far, you might as well just hit the fucking button.
Yeah.
You made it this far. Just hit the fucking button. No, seriously, hit that shit.
Yeah. If not, Hero will come through the camera. He will haunt you in your dreams.
I can do it. Guillermo knows how to find you on the fucking computer, man.
Yeah.
I'll find you. But we're talking about what? Okay. So let's give just a brief overview of strictly facts before anything. Is that fair?
Yeah, let's do it.
All objections can be thrown out at any time you feel something was put out of place. Sometime in June or July, a call went out to the new new prime minister or president of Ukraine. It was supposed to be a congratulatory type of conversation, but it quickly devolved into a rough, and what we have is a rough outline of the conversation, where first a whistleblower with secondhand information and a first-hand whistleblower both collaborated on the same statement and document that was stored on a private server only designed for military-type information and data, which was kept away from the general public. They both spoke on this. In this rough manuscript, there was a discussion between the Ukraine president and our Orange in Chief. I'm
so disrespectful. President Trump.
Okay, I will take that objection. President Trump. And President Trump, through 3 paragraphs, insinuated what is known as a quid pro quo to some people. This was alarming enough that the second-hand information gathered and the first-hand information gathered was taken up to a 7-day wait period to be heard by the Attorney General, which was then deemed so important that he had within the 7 days, asked for a congressional meeting where he displayed and talked about all the information he found. This then prompted 10 days, in under 10 days, Nancy Pelosi, for the first time ever since she's taken over the House,
she's finally done something.
Do we have an judge?
No, we don't have her. Okay. For the first time ever in her career, she did something productive.
Okay. We're getting the positive, constructive criticism I like to see here on the Identity Booth. And she decided for the first time to go along with the House majority and begin the impeachment inquiry.
Yeah.
We are now in a situation where we've had multiple testimonies from different parties in closed Congress, and we've only been getting leaks out. But Tyler, his name escapes me, but a 20-year veteran, served our country, came in and legitimately said, I'm the person who was on the other side of that responding text message where I said, are we really taking quid pro quos in exchange for aid in false investigations? I'm that person who received the text message, and I am now saying this is something that happened. And we have career lobbyists calling him a liar. We have a 20-year veteran. We have a career lobbyist. I will let you decide who you want to believe and whatever their party lines lie. Now, the most recent event, which is going to be today's date, is the
24th.
The 24th. We had the Senate Republicans storm the House chambers that were under secure property in the middle of investigation and in the middle of a trial, storm it and have a wait out until the House decides to have open trials for the public, which I'm not against, so I'm okay with this action.
Yeah. Sounds like a lynch mob to me.
Tweets, man. Tweets. So that is what we know. Now, let's talk about why. It would be fair for us to believe that there's a group of people that believe that this is just common sense. An election's coming up. You need dirt on your.
It's a double-edged sword. So it's a win-win situation for the Democrats. I don't think they have a strong enough candidate to run against him.
You don't think anybody?
No, let me finish. Okay. Trump right now has a wide open lane to a second term, and he embarrassed Hillary, flat out embarrassed Hillary. It would be a joke if she ran again. Elizabeth Warren, I think, is probably the strongest candidate on the Democratic side. Behind her, I would say either Biden or Kamala Harris.
Good God, Eric.
But that's it. There's no one else.
Why do you hate
Bernie? Bernie, the Democrats don't like Bernie.
They have no choice. He's number 2 right now in the runnings.
He was number 1 last year, and what happened to him? They screwed him out of a nomination. He's not going to get it. They won't. Why? Because he's not progressive enough for them. So the people on the far left don't like Bernie. And the people who are moderate on the left don't like Bernie. And the people who are just left of center don't like Bernie. The people that like Bernie are the people our age.
Yeah, but he's okay. Again, before I can say it, because AOC just came out and supported him.
That's what I'm saying. So it's our age group, the generation right ahead of us. Our generation and the generation right below us are the ones who would come out and support Bernie en masse. But the DNC is not going to allow him to be the nominee. They just won't. So what do you do to Trump? The only way to even kind of derail his train is to bring up this impeachment inquiry. Okay, so it looks suspicious. We couldn't get him with the hooker. So what do? Now we have to come at him from he did something egregious. So the inquiry works to, hey, listen, if the inquiry falls flat on its face, it still brings enough doubt to the American people to vote blue in 2020. And if they're right, he gets impeached. Either way, it's a win for them.
And now let's take the pulse of the American people, because admittedly, you haven't been keeping up with the impeachment trial and the inquiry into the impeachment trial to the extent of, say, how much I'm involved in it, because I speak about it like on the podcast quite often. Does this even matter to you as a voter? Is this show of theater and drama something? I know you can have your personal cares, but is this something that even is going to be a blimp on your radar when it's time to vote in 2020?
Honestly, no.
Why?
Yeah.
Because if you want to, and this is my general line of thinking for anybody. Forget Trump.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a president in office, and you want to impeach him, okay, you need to bring evidence.
Yes.
You need to be able to check all of the boxes and be able to. Until you do that, we're okay. It's just like going to court for anything.
Mm-hmm.
The burden of proof.
Yes.
Do you feel that this at least is halting his momentum? I mean, you have to admit, it's some egregious shit for him to say outright, we are not going to give you aid that the Congress has already agreed to fund to you, or we're not going to put you on the preliminary stage to meet with America until you dig up something on Biden. That has to be something that gives you pause.
Yeah, I would say that's probably gonna sway some people that are on the fence. It's gonna taint his reputation, and like you said, give maybe a little bit more strength to the blue. But if people are just, and this is, I struggle with this. I'm an engineer by nature, and I'm about the facts and data.
Mm-hmm.
So either he's guilty or he's not.
Yeah.
You can not like the guy. He can be unethical, but has he broken any laws?
That's my thing. And I took Guillermo's point. We're both scientists. We deal in facts and evidence as well. So again, the burden of proof is on the accuser, not the accused. But despite the despicable things he could have said, he said and done, it means nothing in this particular situation, because again, where is the facts? Where are the facts?
So, am I falling into the ploy of the Democrats' emotional spiral?
I mean, if you're making a decision about a person without any concrete evidence, then it's an emotional decision.
And that deals with your favorite word,
emotional intelligence.
And I might
love that episode, man.
Oh yeah,
that is his favorite show. It's one of our most popular shows.
Yeah.
As I'm speaking here and I'm listening to two people reason logic. Like, let's be honest. It dawns on you that we seem to be reaching at times to try and get him to fall.
Yeah.
There's a saying, like, like trees when trees die, they fall in the forest and no one knows about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be the situation here. The thing that's going to take him down is either going to be a vote or something that he's one.
No, let me tell you. So I got a good story. Okay, so there's atheist guy. I heard this story back. I was in 7th grade. I was in a Christian academy, and there's a story that the teacher put out an article. There was this guy who was an atheist, and every day he would go outside of his house and curse God. Every day. And there was a little hill in this town. And one day he went to the paper. He said everything. He said, "I'm gonna go up to this hill, and if there's a God, I'm gonna swear him and command him to strike me dead." So the next day he gets up. He goes up to the hill. He goes up, points his finger to the sky, swears at God, and commands him to strike him dead. Nothing happens. He walks down the hill, gets back to his house. He's putting the key in the door, and a spider bites him, and he dies the next day. He dies from a spider bite. Can you make that up? No. I feel like if something was to happen to Trump, he's the finger wagger. If something was, it would be something small that took him out. Something that he did not suspect.
anytime I feel the Democrats getting excited about something with Trump, I feel like it's something like, come on, guys,
it's not solid enough.
Yeah,
they keep coming with the same BS, man. Like,
you're not gonna win a battle of morale with Trump. You will lose that battle. He has proven time and time again that his people, his followers, the Republican Party are willing to go to any lengths to uphold a certain image, which is go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be the norm. I don't want people to fall into that critics, because we know that they're a small minority, but they're very vocal.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this: do you feel like at this point, I mean, this is his third year in office, do you feel like the DNC has cried wolf one too many times?
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay, and then we all know the story of the boy who cried wolf. Eventually, people quit coming, and then he got eaten.
So what happens now?
I don't think anything. I think this is going to be a wash, just like the last thing and
in
the
the
thing
Russia
before
and everything like that.
I think it's going to end up.
If the House does approve it and it does go to a Senate vote, and it is based off of treason, high crime, and bribery. High crimes and bribery can be proven.
Yep.
If they take that to court and the Senate votes no, do you lose faith in the Republican Party for not acknowledging pure facts?
100%.
So we have to first. So you're saying once we can get them to acknowledge high crimes and the quid pro quo.
Quid pro.
Okay, I don't know. I'm done. I'm literally rubbing two brain cells together right now. If we can get something like that in writing, does your idea of the Democrats' cry for wolf change?
No, I said a broken clock is right twice. Right twice a day. So
you've hit me 3 times in this podcast. I don't appreciate it. All right. I mean, that's it. And I mean, Guillermo, what do you like?
I'm just more. I don't like the approach. Why didn't you gather up the evidence, have something concrete, and say, here's what we got. We nailed them on the X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Instead of sitting here grasping at straws and then trying to maybe find something.
Do you feel like it's because the news media is... I feel like the 24-hour news cycle is hindering the Democratic parties. Yeah. I think about how impactful...
Don't tell me you're going to go find gold. Just find the gold. Tell me
and I feel like because the news media just needs something on TV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it kind of drains it. Like, for anyone to be paying attention to all this shit, you have to take out at least 6 hours of your week to thoroughly be up to date.
But that's why I don't watch the mainstream media anymore. I get all my news from watching podcasts like The Circuit of Life or The Identity Booth. And shameless plug.
and I'm doing the best I can with the information, because even I sit here in front of you now as hero in the year 2019, the year of our Lord. I don't know everything. And I've literally been convinced that I'm not going to side with the Democrats just because they have a smoking gun. I need to see the crime scene. Mm-hmm. And that is ostensibly all I can believe. I need to see the dead body, and I can tell you how it got there. Other than that, it's for the birds, and I'm not interested in digesting that type of shit. So we need to, as a group of people, I feel super important, be able to come to conversations on logical terms. And not be afraid for your ideas to be pushed. Because my ideas were pushed today. But I didn't double choke slam my co-host here today. I didn't do it, I swear.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important for you guys to see this dynamic, this conversation from each perspective, which there's only 3, but one of them might relate to you. And I think that's super important. So, like, that's all I wanted to get off my chest. You guys feel free to close this out. My brain cells are gone.
Yeah, well,
I can't cross my legs. What am I thinking?
In the respect of time, and I think I can speak for all 4 of us in this room, is like we are starving. We thank you for sticking with us for this long. And honestly, we'll be completely transparent. I did not expect this conversation to go as smoothly as it did.
Yeah, I thought there would be a little bit more fighting, but
No, but again, that's to Hero's point. When you have a difference of opinion, it's okay to share your perspective, and then in the hopes that the other person that you're sharing with is objective enough to take it in, chew on it, and then share theirs with you without being hostile and aggressive. Like, and we all experience this. I mean, especially when you're making podcasts, you get people who have a difference of opinion than you. They're gonna go in your comment section and try their hardest to either insult you or convince you that what you said was not wrong. I mean,
but I think that's a good thing.
I agree.
You need the different perspectives. You need balance.
Yeah.
now fuck all you pseudoscience motherfuckers. Stay out of my comment section. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Y'all ending the show. I'm done.
Are you finishing
I'm
it?
dead. I got a party tomorrow.
Okay, well, Guillermo opened this up, so you want to close us out? You gotta tell the people where they can find you.
All right. Well, you could probably find all of us in the same places, except where can't they find us?
Minds,
Y'all
Gams,
joining this shit
and
together?
BitChute.
Are y'all fusing the podcast together?
Wonder Twins activate. Form of a podcast.
Did y'all just fuse the podcast together? Oh, damn it. I left for 1 second and I just booted.
God. Yeah. So, no, but seriously, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and all the rest of those fun places. Anchor, SoundCloud. Forgot about SoundCloud. But
Yeah, I'm on there too.
yeah, but I heard a little birdie that SoundCloud's on its way out the door. So, yeah. But no, we're there. We appreciate y'all watching. I hope you made it through the entire episode. I hope you learned something. I hope you found something that resonated with you, and maybe you didn't. Maybe you completely disagree and think we're absolute idiots. Please take the time to go down in the comment section and let us know just how much you dislike it.
No, fuck that. Find me. Let's talk about this shit there.
Yeah.
Meet me in these streets.
With that same energy.
Keep it.
Excellent. Well, again, this has been the Identity Booth and Circuit of Life collaboration. We appreciate y'all, and we will catch y'all next time. That's E. Oh my God. That's E.
It's like,
My stomach is touching my backbone right now.